Hello and welcome back to Terrorhand, the glorious and mighty kingdom. Yeah, that's our kingdom. And we have been enhancing the Trickler. Now, as it stands, we were laying down the mechanics and of course we are going to continue. But as one can see, I have done a little bit of work over here already. Because I have a plan. The plan is sound. It's basically about the, mechanics and hooking them up. Basically, what I want is quite simple. I want the power to run nicely, so it isn't like in the main view, and then upstairs. So it's gonna go down over here, and then it's gonna go up here. Then it comes into, well, the main floor actually, because this one's on the ground. It comes over here right at this corner piece, and then it will go up even further. Over here it will move one to the side and then traverse over here and then move to this point here where it goes up, reaches this point, and over here it's going to be crucial because I feel like we should also implement a switch, and that switch is gonna bypass the whole system and it should power on the whole contraption the moment the switch is turned. So to that end, what we would need is an axle going down, and I feel like it's alright if we have one going down over here. I mean, otherwise it's gonna be pretty much impossible. The only thing is though, this is gonna, well, lead down to over here. Oh, and of course I am forgetting a thing. Yeah, I mean, this is nice, but we can't really have this one going over here. We need this one to be over there, because we don't need to go up over here. It's just that it needs to run through this line. Derp, big time forgot that. So we'll quickly set that up. Yeah, it's quite derpy over here. Anyway, it's not that difficult to configure. What we need is, I don't really know why we have an axle over there. I guess that's just forgotten. And what we need then is from over here. Now we need it only to over here. This is where the axle needs to come up. So we hook it up, say like over here, and then we're golden. That means that these stairs, well, they'll have to go for now, but we can just replace them back. I mean, once the axle's in the ground, then we don't really need the axle anymore. Of course, we're gonna rework this so it looks nice and the axle isn't in the way, but for now, that's how it's gonna be. So, to that end though, we're gonna have to remove those as well. Anyway, story remains the same. Then, once everything is built and the system is in place, only then are we going to get this switch in place. So when it reaches this point here, it's then gonna go up, most likely just here. And then once we actually have the floor here, then we will be able to get everything built. So that's the general plan. That's also how we're gonna do it. Now, over here, this is gonna be the most upper floor. So we need to fill this in, and I'll quickly get a nice floor in here, and then we will be ready to do the mechanics. There, very nice floor, huh? I mean, it's just a temporary thing anyway, this, so yeah, good stuff. Now, as for the mechanic building, currently only one of our mechanic workshops is making it, but what I'm gonna do is pretty clever over here. I'm gonna keep track of each and every item I make, and the total of that minus 1 is going to be made over here. Now, what that should, actually, come and think of it, that might not be the best idea really. I'm gonna just make half of them, and then if we still have a lot of them left to do, I'll add some more. My idea was that they'll make them all over here, and then they will move back to the other workshops once all these are done. But I can totally see this backfire, leaving me with a lot of unwanted items, so I'll just make a rough estimate. Anyway, time to get some building done, so yeah, it is time that we speed this up a bit and I can lay down the orders. Now, right, I think I got all the orders given now, and that's a lot to produce. So, we're gonna find out if now, finally, they are gonna make us the copper gearboxes, because we're gonna need a lot of those. Over here, we should get all the materials that we need for it. And over here, hey, oh yeah, it's there, so we should get all of it. Right, with that sorted, we're gonna queue up quite a few of them over here. Even more so than we got already over here. So, to this end, let's see, copper mechanism base, copper gear. All that really needs is just crafting. Anyway, I'm gonna add another 5 to the job list. And for that, well, we also need a crap load of the stuff over here, so I'm just gonna make some in advance and we'll see how much we end up with. So, there, craft a few of those, and then also craft a few of these. There, I mean, we're gonna need more of them anyway. Now, another thing I wonder, and I didn't saw that being made over here, was pressure plates. No, indeed, we're not making them. So, I want these also to be made, so we're gonna need mechanism bases and then copper bars like this. I'm moving it up right over there. And I'm also gonna queue up a few of those over at the other workshop, because we're gonna need just quite a few of them. That means that we also need to produce all this stuff. And see, I mean, these things we just queued up, yeah, we already need them. Let's see, then the pressure plate is just the same thing plus a bar. Alright. So, I guess those are equal. Right. This all makes sense now. Then we also need more tin axles. So once all this is made, we're also gonna... No, I don't think we need to queue up any more tin axles, because they'll just keep making those. The thing is that what I'm more worried about right now is by queuing up all that stuff, do we have enough copper? Let's find out how much copper we have exactly, alright? It would be kind of awkward if halfway through we had ran out. Not that it would be that difficult, we could always just get more. Where is the copper ore? It's not that much, it's also not that little, though we probably have to mine some, but... Nah, well, you know, I'm pretty sure that we'll get this finished in the mechanics here. So, well then, let's get to it. It seems to me that everything except the gearboxes has been built. Look, see, they're laying the groundwork for the last axle over here right now. So I am wondering what on the freaking earth is happening. Oh, they're working on it over here. It just might take a while, I guess. Yeah, like a big while, I guess. Balls. Yeah, well, at least it's being worked on, so yeah, we should see progress here. So what I'm gonna do is, because, you know, I can stare at it all day, but I won't have any indication of whenever it's done. We will be back once it's done. So, the magic of video editing at our advantage. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back because the mechanics are finished, but that's about all the good news there is, because, and really, I mean, I've smacked myself in the head for only noticing this now, but yeah, I made a mistake, and not a tiny one either. It's big and it's Anyway, I'll quickly explain what I did wrong for the ones who didn't saw this coming and were yelling at the screen for obvious reasons. It's quite simple. See how I was reasoning about this whole enemy filter? Well, wasn't reasoning right. I thought that, you know, at first, which was actually the right train of thought, that this is a, well, one only condition, you know, that if we're sending power through it, then, well, if the yak steps on it, the power will be disrupted, which is bad because the walls over here need power to be activated. But in my stupidity I said, doesn't matter because we can just switch them around and it won't be an issue. Turns out that is an issue, because if that's the case, then they will be by default putting through power, which is them always being up. That's bad, because what would happen then is that, say for example, a gnome or a goblin or anyone would stand on this pressure plate, boom, wall goes up, which is basically like, oh no, it's open, and then the moment you want to leave, not gonna happen. It's like, you know, locking the doors, but not having them locked. It's like locking glass doors, teasing with the outside world. Yeah, not so good. Now, of course, whilst, because I noticed this, like, when things were being built, I was like, what? No, you gotta be kidding. But I have a solution. It's not the best, and it's gonna take a little bit of reworking, but we can get this working regardless. It's just gonna require a little bit of digging open what we got so far. Mainly, I believe over here. Yeah, those are the ones. But we need to deconstruct a lot more actually, because the plan is, the thing that I said at first, we're gonna remove these. The power coming from over here is actually not a problem. What we're gonna need over here is a row of gearboxes, the pressure plates over here, another row of gearboxes leading up to here. That's what we're gonna need, because what will happen is that we'll always have power through here. Then if any one of these pressure plates is being stood upon, we will have power moving further. Actually, the other way around, you know, because power comes from upstairs. But it doesn't matter, the principle is still sound. So, to that end, we need to deconstruct these all. And then we need to deconstruct pretty much this entire row over here. Great! Well, I guess the building wasn't finished after all then, was it? Balls, derpy me. I mean, I sometimes even wonder how I managed to, you know, get my bread done for work, really. Derp. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be doing some more building. ladies and gentlemen, if we take a look at the following number, we will notice that my derpiness is even worse than I thought. We are pretty much through all our copper, so what we're gonna do is, and I don't really like doing it, but we're gonna change this one over here, and this entire row actually, over to tin copper gearboxes, just so that we can at least finish it and we won't be left with different mixed colors. Because if there's one thing that I don't like in the mighty and glorious Terrorhand, it is bad and random mixing up of colors. So that's certainly not gonna happen. Anyway, yeah, I'll speed time up some more. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and everything is finished. Very nice indeed. However, there's one minor change that I made, aside from moving the whole wall back by one. What I also did was that... Hold on a second, does this even line up proper? It does. Now, aside from that, I have removed the whole staircase entry here. Because it would have been over here right at this spot. I do want this fully enclosed by walls. I want as least of the mechanics visible to our gnomes as possible. Of course, here it's a bit of an exception, but hey, everyone who is walking up here to the the terror gate, the bone gate of terror, that is. Anyone who's walking up there is, well, military and, yeah, they shouldn't be, I mean, I don't want to shy the mechanics from them. I do want the mechanics to be shied away for every other gnome in the kingdom, because it's all about the might and the glory, and mechanics don't fit, only what they do, not the bare visible parts. So, but anyway, now that this is finished, we should now have a total completed system. And this, and this is without these blocks being powered, already requires 65 power just to get all the axles and all that moving. That's quite a lot. That's like 4 windmills purely for the power transportation. It's actually not that unrealistic, I mean, in real life, whenever you move power over a distance, you lose it as well. Well, same is true over here. Anyway, what we're gonna do is, well, first of all we need to rebuild the staircase, which we're gonna do, and then we're gonna get our power up. Now the power is gonna be up on the roof, of course, and let's see, the staircase was over there. Now we're gonna have an axle there, which will lead pretty much right onto here. My plan is to just fill it up around the central piece over here. Just for giggles, you know, we're gonna have a gearbox over here, which around around that whole gearbox, everything will be built. And then we'll just see how far we can fill out the roof. But also, just because I like this better, there and there, you know, we need decent entryways for our stairs. I mean, these, you know, one tile gaps, and now they don't cut it for me. Anyway, that does mean that we have more axles to build, tin axles mostly. There and there, yeah, we'll get this sorted, and soon, ladies and gentlemen, soon, TM, we will have ourselves a working system. Oh man, this is poor timing of you, Greenskins, if I've ever seen one. The thing is that, look at this. This whole windmill over here is now green. That means that it's being built, which is true. There is like half the parts that it needs to be finished is here. However, if you take a look at this gearbox, which is now linked to the whole system, we require another 20 power, well actually another 22 power. So even this one windmill here wouldn't do it. However, the thing is right now, not a single one of these walls can pop up because each wall on its own requires 20 power. Wait, where did the yak go? The yak fled over there. Great, so far for our enemy trigger, huh? He just runs off to over there. That's not the intention, Mr. Yak. Balls, that's really not good. You need to get your ass back up there and flee onto these things, not down the stairs over here. Maybe I don't know, maybe we could move the stairs over a little bit so that it's less obvious for the yak to run away. We could even remove this pillar if need be, so that the only entrance is like towards the goblins. That might not be such a bad idea, really. Coming to think of it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter much now, because as I was saying, you know, right now, even if all the conditions were met, which you know, you scary thing, yak, beast, you're not doing your job. But even if he did, nothing would go up. I just wish these greenskins would have come just a tad bit later. But now, well, what can we do, right? Anyway, let's watch some goblin murdering, see how this goes. Wow, that is if the game ever gets some proper decent frame rates going on. Alright, that's a lot better. Look, see, we're even shooting them just dead on over here with the gauntlet. And I guess that's pretty much it. Now, yeah, pretty much all of them are on these two raiders. So what we're gonna do, because I kind of forgot, quickly turn this off, you know, our smelter, so we don't get any, you know, of our gnomes running into the goblins and then them getting kills that they don't deserve, really. Now, it seems to me that our yak is still running, yeah, look, he's running rampant over there. We definitely need to think of something when the goblins are gone. So, yeah, let's watch some goblin slaying then. I mean, it's like the next best thing. I wanted to see our enhanced Trickler in action, but I guess that's gonna have to wait 7 days now, more or less. Balls. Now, well, I'm pretty sure it will work. I mean, it's the mastermind Damage who thought of the mechanics, so it could only work, right? Look at this raider, by the way, arming himself, but he doesn't have any armor, so he's like doomed already. Though, on the other hand, he seems to be a sturdy one. Oh! Well, hey, hello there, mans! We've been getting this, you know, like the last 4 or 5 waves that the mans actually come in whilst the goblins are here too. Now, the mans don't stand a chance, but look, see, this is what the Trickler should have prevented from happening. This, you know, them running away. It's what we don't need. Really. Oh, man. Ah, well. So, yeah, see, the windmill still hasn't been built, so yeah, we still couldn't test this. Balls. In fact, oh, you even just... Ah, of course, because you have visibility over here of the goblins. The one gnome building over here, of course, ran away. I don't know who that coward was. You do know that you can't be hurt over here on this platform, right? Anyway, on to the issue of our yaks running loose and rampant through the fortress right now. Is anybody even gonna put them back to, like, where they belong? I mean, there is an animal supposed to pasture it over there. It's just running, oh, God knows where. Oh, I was about to say, if it's in our tiny great hall, that would be a real poor show. I don't even know where I went, really. I mean, is it over here? Did it go rampant over here in the industries section? Well, it could be. I don't see it though. I don't know. I have no idea where the yak went. Oh, he's over there now. I can see him. I saw him for a second. Don't know where the animal... Wait, did it just disappear? No, that can't be. How does that animal even manage to get away from over here? And where is it at? I saw it over here for a moment. And then it's gone. Just like that. Gone. This... Hey? Hold on a second. I don't get this. So it was over here. We all saw this. We have proof on video, on camera. And then it just... I guess, you know, our animal caretaker, our husbander, or whatever we named it, will take care of it. So, now, what we need is to quickly enable some stockpiling over here, because, yeah, you know, corpses, loot that we want. And we're also gonna rework this whole yak trigger thing, because I am totally not happy with the way that that is turning out to work. So, let's see here. We are going to remove a few things. This is the way that you're gonna enter over here from now on. It's going to be... Well, it's actually gonna be only 1 block difference, really. Now, anybody seen that freaking animal? Anybody gonna put it back in its place? I guess not. Right. Yeah, this definitely needs to be prevented next time. Alright, anyway, we will get this sorted and we will make it fail-proof. I mean, it just is fail-proof, and I know this because the animal is so stupid it will never run towards an enemy. So, there. I mean, a clever abuse of the game mechanics. Totally allowed as well. There it is! Ah, there you are! Yeah, you got hungry probably, didn't you? Right. Nice, 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 nice. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. The mechanics, the improved Trickler is finally in place. It's a shame really that we don't get to check this out, at least until the next wave of goblins arrive. But here, it's working with an excess of power. And even more coming, which is, oh man, finally! Now, the only thing that we still need to do, and that's pretty much really the only thing over here, is seal this ditch off, because the last thing we want is enemies running through here and then being able to just straight run into the soft parts of the fortress, our mighty and glorious industry. Nice. Alright, well, there it is. Finished, at least for the most part. Though, well, there is like two things missing. One, some fine little details over here called basic flooring that's lacking right now, because we had to, well, tighten everything in one block, so on there, we need that. And then also, another thing that is quite crucial in my eyes is that, well, we need quarters over here, which I'll set up in a moment, but this over here is where I think we need to really put some stuff into place. I mean, we have this very cool looking roof with, well, you know, the heart of the Trickler enhancement, but it looks like just a roof, and we're gonna pimp it out a little bit so that it becomes awe-inspiring. Now let's see here. We want, of course, me overseeing the whole place. So we're gonna go with the basalt statue, and you know what? We're gonna put two of them over there and two of them over there. I know it would be better to look out over here, but you just gotta imagine that the world doesn't end right here. Well, technically it does, but in the real world, our gnomes can look far and wide and follow this river even further, so yeah, you know, we're just looking to the side. Besides, look, there's a statue overlooking over here as well, so everything is covered. Then, and this is of course the most fear, well, giving attribute that we're gonna put over here, the skull nipple. It doesn't sound that fearful and you know, proud making of our military, but believe me, this will have our enemies know who is boss here, you know? Enter at your own risk, basically, but then in goblin language. I'm pretty sure that they understand the meaning behind these signs here. Look at that. That's a lot better, isn't it? I like it. Right then. Well, so far so good. Now this last one, this will get built eventually. We don't really need it right now, but once, well, you know, once I have verified that this whole new mechanic works, we are then gonna incorporate another thing, you know, which is like just a gate switch, really, so that we have like doors. And actually, you know, I already wanted that, but the thing is that it would be really nice, you know, say the goblins come in and they cannot escape, you know, as is the intention. Then we'll all find them dead within the confines of these walls. Now imagine that we killed those goblins, and there's a lot of them, you know, we murdered them all, and you know, they had no fighting chance. Imagine that we then, you know, start hauling in the bodies, and it takes like 2 days, heck, 3 days maybe even, because there were so many. What if we were ambushed by mans in the meantime? Could happen. Right now you saw that they came at the same time, which was a nasty surprise for the goblins. Oh, nasty, nasty. Anyway, it wasn't nice to attack them in the rear. But if they come do that with us whilst we're dragging all the loot inside, I want, you know, our gnomes to do that in safety. So that's where we have that switch for, and yeah, you know, I think it's clever. I think it's smart. And yeah, I also quite like the look. Oh, look at that! Look at how quickly our gnomes finished this. Let me see. Have I forgotten one? Yeah, it looks like it. Right, well, of course we're gonna have to place that one then. We can't just leave one open spot over there. Oh no. Can only be two-headed ogre skulls, cause that will leave a memory, at least for as long as, you know, anyone coming in here remains alive. It will leave a memory, all those two-headed ogre skulls. This looks good, man. I mean, just the looks of it. You know, just like this, when the whole bone gate of terror is present. Yeah. See, the thing is as well, we could have gone with this building being higher, but in all honesty, all it would add really is just, you know, empty floors, which, well, I'm sure I'd find a use for them. But really, this is so much more awe-inspiring. So you come over here, you see this small building, and you're like, I just can't reach the roof. And then you see the bone gate of terror, but once you go in here, there's no going out. I don't know, really, in all honesty, if this were moved back a little bit, it would have looked just as good, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy with it, you know, especially knowing what's inside. Now, of course, what we also need now is a squad, which will be training over here. We don't have that squad yet, and until we do, but I won't have one over here until we have the next goblins. That is, you know, if they can't leave over here, we'll do something about it. But for now, I think that this whole, you know, Trickler enhancement is done pretty proper. Over here, I'll set up some stockpiles, but I'll do that off camera, and I'll get some torches and all that, so it's working, but don't expect anything fancy like our industries. Now, in fact, speaking about our industries, there is this in-between layer, and especially over here, where it is butt ugly, that needs to be addressed, really, before we can move down, you know, towards the real important areas. The ones over here. Anyway, this right here, I think right now we have more or less all the basic structures out here. So we know where the entry points to the above ground and all that are gonna be, so we can now make a proper definitive layout for our gnomes to walk on. And yeah, you know, the whole pimping out of this area, I mean, including the farm over here as well, you know, it is what it is. It's a cave right now, and well, there's walls, and actually, I mean, I don't really mind it being a cave. On the other hand, though, it's part of a structure, so yeah, this and more all needs to be addressed next time when we play more Gnomoria.